Hello everybody, this is JD. This is going to be one that's very touching to me. Very, very touching and very serious. War, war, war. Listen in the news. Russia going into Georgia. Possibility of us going into Iran. Us in Iraq. Us in Afghanistan. Really, if we must go to war, then yes. Do it. Don't play games. But remember this before we go to war. Nobody wins. Nobody wins in a war, even though the last man standing. Look at the price World War II was to us. Look at the price of Korean War. Look at the price of Vietnam. There's not much difference. The world didn't change any. We won some of those, we lost some of those. But that ain't where the price is. The price is in lives. When you go to war, no matter what, you lose. There is no winners. How many men must die before people at the top realize? Bush was in the national. He has no idea. Yeah, he likes to play the war games. They played on the weekends. There, it was a game. You know, I used to call the National Guard and the Army Boy Scouts because they go out and do, especially reserves, they were Boy Scouts. They go out, they do their weekend stuff, and then 2 weeks a year they go off and work out in the military. But the truth is, they didn't know what war was like. They did the same thing Boy Scouts did. They went out for the weekends once a month and they camped out, they played their war games, exactly what the Boy Scouts do. If you ever was involved in the Boy Scouts, those boys go out there, they set up the and they play war games all the time. And then they go camping 1 week in the summer, and there they do a little merit badge stuff and a little skill, and the reserves would go to do their 2 weeks. Now they're getting a real taste of it. They don't like it. And that's really a shame, because that is what war is. War is not something pretty. It's not something glorious. It's not something great. The first time you see a dead body, and you know one of the biggest horrors? Tell any man who has shot his soldiers, killed some of the enemy, he can always tell you about the first man he killed. He can remember seeing it, he'll never forget it. That's something that will never leave a soldier. I know, and it's a horrible thing. You never forget that for as long as you live. It changes you. That's what they mean when they say that they come back and they change. That is with them for the rest of their life. War is not a great, fantastic thing. It is the last resource. There's nothing else. The last recourse. And it's not something you jump into lightly. Congress did just that. Us House of Representatives and Senators did that with Iraq. They jumped into it lightly. And they let it happen. It is a very, very serious matter. Before I go to war with a nation, I will know that we have exhausted all. And that nation will be a threat to us. Now, mind you, Afghanistan, we are in a war there. And that, if I become president, I will inherit. Iraq, that's over, people. Look at it. It's just the standing down, the formalities of transferring the government over to the Iraqi people, let the Iraqi people do it, us hang around for a while, look good, and then come home. That's what's left in Iraq. Not so in Afghanistan. And as president, if I have to go to war, I will go to war. And that is what I will show in Afghanistan. Because it's not a game. It is a very serious business where there is no winners. And I will not waste an American life on a stupid, frivolous little game that most of these politicians think. It's not them going. They haven't been there. They don't know what it's like to be separated from your family, not knowing whether you're going to come back. I remember sitting there on the first Iraqi war with these units of people who were doing things. I remember working. I remember doing all the things and listening to them. And I remember them wondering, are they going to live? Are they going to get home? Will they get home in time to see their baby born? Will they be there for their wives? Will they get home to their girlfriend? And how they're going to get married as soon as they get home? They will never ever. Yes, I witnessed that. It's not the same. It's not what you see on TV. These men are there doing their job, and they know that they can be dead any minute. They know when they go out on patrol, there's a chance they're never going to come back. But they do their job. And it's not nice. Who do you want in there as president? Obama? He has no idea what war is. McCain? He does. He knows what it's like to be a prisoner of war. He knows what it's like to wondering every day if you're going to live. But yet, he is so free with war. Like it's the answer to everything. But it's not. It is the final recourse when nothing is left, and it's not an answer to anything. Because war, whenever it happens, all involved lose. What did we win in Iraq? Anything? Think about it. What did we actually win? Ask those mothers and fathers of those soldiers who are never coming back. They'll tell you what we won. What did we win? We did. We didn't win. We were victorious, but we really did not win. You don't win in war. You come back victorious or defeated, but you never ever win. Because once one person dies on each side, both sides have lost. That's war. And it's not pretty. There's nothing pretty about it. It's nothing pretty what it does to a human being. How it changes them. As long as they're war games, it's fine. But when it's real and lives start dying, it changes the whole scenario. And it is different. And it will always be that way. The horror of war is war. This is JD for president. And remember, don't vote Democrat, don't vote Republican, vote American. And there's a lot on it. Plus, go to my video 52, people out there, and get me signatures. That's got my address. Mail me signatures. I got to start mailing them in to Washington. I need your help to get those signatures. Thank you. This is JD. I can't do the whole country by myself from here. I need you all out there. Help me to help you to make this country great. And as president, I promise you, this I will promise, war will always be my last recourse. And it will always, if I do, it will be real. It won't be games. I won't play games. I don't play games. And I realize if I go to war, I've already lost. Thank you. Have a nice day. This is JD for president.